Hey, Yankees fans, buckle up, because we are diving deep into some of the most exciting developments surrounding the team right now. For weeks, there's been so much speculation, so much worry, and honestly, a lot of frustration over the state of the Yankees pitching. We all know that pitching has been a roller coaster this season, with ups and downs that have kept even the most loyal fans on the edge of their seats. And when we talk about pitching, the conversation inevitably circles around Max Fried. This guy has been through it all over the past few months. He started the season looking like a man possessed, absolutely locked in, striking batters out at a rate we had rarely seen before in his career. At one point, he was right there in contention for the biggest pitching honors, showcasing the type of dominance that makes fans believe in a team's World Series potential. He was electric, precise, and confident. Everything a team could hope for from their ace. But then, like so many things in baseball, reality hit. Injuries, inconsistencies, and just the unpredictability of the sport itself created a perfect storm that threw Fried off his game. It began with a blister on his hand, something small that quickly became a massive obstacle. You might think a blister is minor, but when you're a pitcher, your grip is everything. Losing that subtle control can completely derail your mechanics, your confidence, and ultimately, your performance on the mound. Fried became wild. Strikeouts dropped, walks increased, hit batters popped up more frequently, and he even began giving up more hits than usual. His ERA ballooned above 5 at one point after July 1st, which for a pitcher who had started the season as one of the best in the league was brutal. Fans watched with bated breath as their ace struggled to find the rhythm that once made him untouchable. And it hasn't just been Fried. The Yankees' rotation as a whole has been a puzzle of uncertainty. Injuries kept piling up. Clarke Schmidt had moments of return only to be sidelined again with Tommy John surgery. Luis Gil has barely pitched because he's just coming back into the fold, and several other starters struggled with inconsistency. We saw Marcus Stroman and Carlos Carrasco have uneven stretches. Alan Wainwright had a rough outing, and Ian Hamilton even started a couple of games in a pinch. It's been chaotic, to put it mildly, with the rotation trying to patch holes while maintaining a competitive edge. But in the midst of all this uncertainty, there's a silver lining now, and it comes in the form of a resurgent Max Fried. Fried's recent performance against the Washington Nationals was exactly what the Yankees needed at precisely the right moment. For 7 innings, he dominated, allowing only a single earned run and limiting hits until the 6th inning. He struck out 6 batters, walked just 2, and showed the kind of control and confidence that had fans dreaming of postseason dominance. This was the first time in quite a while that we saw Fried looking completely in command, fully aware of his strengths, and ready to carry the team on his back once again. It wasn't just a flash in the pan either. This was consistent, calculated, and, most importantly, effective pitching. For fans who have been worried that the summer slump was permanent, this game offered a clear sign that Fried was back on track. What makes this even more critical is that Fried is not just pitching well individually. His resurgence lifts the entire team's morale and strengthens the rotation as a whole. With Garrett Cole out for the season due to a torn UCL, Fried's role as the de facto ace becomes even more vital. He isn't just one of the starters anymore. He's the pitcher around whom the Yankees can build a plan for the playoffs. Every strikeout, every inning he navigates without damage, reinforces the idea that the Yankees can rely on him when it matters most. And with the playoff push intensifying, having an ace regain his form is exactly the boost this team needs. But Fried isn't the only one stepping up. Paul Blackburn, recently added to the bullpen, has started to show flashes of reliability as well. Filling in for injured arms like Ryan Yarbrough, Blackburn provided solid innings in relief, giving the Yankees the multi-inning support they desperately needed. Even though he gave up a home run, he still managed to stabilize the game, showing that he could be a valuable asset down the stretch. This combination of Fried reclaiming his ace form and Blackburn providing steady relief helps alleviate some of the enormous pressure that has been weighing on the Yankees' pitching staff. Looking at the broader picture, Max Fried's season numbers remain impressive despite the mid-season struggles. With a 3.14 ERA, a 14-5 record, and still strong strikeout totals, Fried has demonstrated that he hasn't lost his edge. The summer slump was a setback, yes, but it hasn't defined his season. He is still among the elite pitchers in the league, capable of delivering performances that can carry the Yankees through tough games and, ultimately, into the postseason. His ability to rebound not only cements his status as the team's ace, but also sends a message to opponents. The Yankees still have a formidable force on the mound, one that can dominate when at full strength. Fried's resurgence is timely because it coincides with the Yankees beginning to solidify their rotation and build momentum heading into the final stretch of the season. With pitchers like Carlos Rodon also regaining their form, the Yankees are slowly assembling the type of pitching core that can compete against the best in the league. Rodon has shown incredible composure and effectiveness in recent outings, posting a 2.66 ERA over his last 4 starts with 16 strikeouts, demonstrating that he is shaking off earlier struggles and finding his groove. The combination of Fried and Rodon provides the Yankees with 2 reliable arms who could deliver under pressure, a critical factor as the team eyes postseason play. Beyond the top-end rotation, emerging pitchers like Cam Schlittler have added depth and excitement. Schlittler has been nothing short of phenomenal over his last 5 outings, posting a 1.63 ERA with 31 strikeouts. In his last 2 games alone, he has racked up 16 strikeouts without allowing an earned run, highlighting his ability to dominate in high-pressure situations. The presence of consistent performers like Schlittler, alongside Fried and Rodon, creates a sense of stability and optimism for a pitching staff that has had more than its fair share of uncertainty. Every single strong outing builds confidence not just in the pitchers themselves, but across the entire roster. The offense can approach each game knowing that the pitching staff is capable of keeping them in contention. The fans, long frustrated by inconsistent starts and shaky performances, now have real reason to believe again. Fried's return to form, Rodon's resurgence, and Schlittler's dominance are all interlocking pieces that signal the Yankees are finally starting to peak at the right moment. And it's not just about Fried. The emergence of reliable support from other pitchers ensures that the team can structure a rotation that is competitive and sustainable. With Blackburn stepping up, Rodon finding consistency, and emerging talents like Schlittler excelling, the Yankees are putting together a pitching foundation that can withstand the pressures of postseason baseball. The synergy between the ace and the supporting arms creates a dynamic where the team is not overly reliant on a single performance, but can draw strength from multiple contributors. Watching this transformation unfold has been exhilarating for fans. The uncertainty that plagued the rotation is giving way to a sense of purpose and momentum. Every solid start, every strikeout, and every inning of control adds to the narrative that the Yankees are peaking at exactly the right time. The playoffs are not just a possibility. They are becoming a tangible reality, and the pitching staff's resurgence is central to that journey. Fried's comeback performance is emblematic of this turnaround, a vivid reminder of what makes baseball so unpredictable and so thrilling. At the end of the day, seeing Max Fried reclaim his dominance is about more than numbers. It's about confidence, timing, and leadership on the mound. He has the ability to set the tone for the team, influence games in crucial moments, and inspire confidence in his fellow pitchers. With every strikeout and every inning of dominance, Fried reminds everyone why he was signed for a record-breaking contract, why he is considered the backbone of the rotation, and why the Yankees can trust him when it matters most. The combination of experience, skill, and a timely resurgence makes this an incredibly exciting period for Yankees fans. The rotation, once in chaos, is beginning to resemble the powerhouse it was intended to be. With Fried, Rodon, Blackburn, and Schlittler all stepping up at the right time, the team is poised to make a strong push toward the playoffs. The energy, the anticipation, and the optimism surrounding the pitching staff are palpable, and it's clear that the Yankees are finally starting to look like the team fans had hoped for all season. Now, while the pitching staff has been grabbing the headlines, we cannot ignore how crucial the Yankees' offense has been in complementing this resurgence on the mound. After all, baseball is a delicate balance of pitching and hitting, and the timing of a hot streak from the lineup can completely alter the trajectory of a team's season. Over the past few weeks, the Yankees have started to show signs that their bats are waking up at just the right moment. The synergy between pitchers like Max Fried and the offense is starting to feel electric, as if the entire roster is finally clicking after a season filled with ups and downs, injuries, and uncertainty. It hasn't been a smooth ride. There were stretches where the lineup seemed disjointed, where runs were scarce, and where the team struggled to put pressure on opposing pitchers. But now, hitters are starting to find their rhythm. Contact rates are up, home runs are returning, and players who have been slumping are finding their timing again. This resurgence is particularly noticeable when you look at the middle of the order. These players, who are often responsible for driving in key runs, have started delivering consistently, turning what might have been close, tense games into decisive victories. It's one of those moments in baseball where you can feel the momentum shifting not just in the standings, but in the very energy of the clubhouse. The players are feeding off one another, and fans can sense it in every swing, every at-bat, and every roar from the crowd. What makes this so exciting is how these improvements coincide perfectly with the pitchers finding their form. Max Fried isn't the only one benefiting from a supportive lineup. Carlos Rodon, too, has looked more confident knowing that the bats behind him are capable of producing runs. In baseball, confidence is contagious. When hitters start producing, pitchers feel that freedom to attack the zone, to challenge hitters aggressively, and to trust their stuff. And when the Yankees' offense is clicking, it changes the dynamic for the opposing team entirely. Pitchers can no longer nibble at the edges, walk batters to avoid big hits, or rely solely on strikeouts to keep the game manageable. The Yankees' lineup has started forcing opponents into uncomfortable situations, pressing them into mistakes, and capitalizing on every opportunity to score. Power is returning in a big way. Long balls are flying out of Yankee Stadium with regularity, and players who had been struggling to find the barrel are now timing pitches perfectly, driving the ball with authority. It's not just home runs, either. Situational hitting has improved dramatically. Players are advancing runners, executing sacrifice flies, and consistently finding ways to manufacture runs when the situation calls for it. These kinds of fundamentals often go unnoticed in casual discussions, but they're critical in close games, particularly during the playoff push. When the season comes down to a few key at-bats, every little detail matters, and the Yankees are showing that they can handle both the power and the precision needed to succeed in high-pressure situations. One of the most encouraging signs has been the performance of the younger core of the team. Rookies and newer acquisitions, who may have struggled early in the season or experienced the inevitable pressure of playing in New York, are beginning to show maturity and poise at the plate. Their growth is undeniable. They are not just hitting for average. They're hitting in critical situations, producing runs when it matters most, and contributing to a lineup that is finally starting to feel cohesive. It's a mix of experience and youth, of seasoned veterans who know how to handle the grind of a long season and younger players bringing energy, speed, and fearless aggression. Together, they're forming a lineup that is increasingly difficult for opposing pitchers to navigate. Consistency has been a key factor. There's a rhythm to baseball, a cadence that allows hitters to find their timing, and the Yankees are beginning to rediscover that rhythm. After weeks of off days, rainouts, and erratic performances, the team is finally starting to feel steady. Games that might have felt like a struggle a month ago now feel winnable, and that mindset is critical. Confidence breeds performance. Confidence in the dugout spreads to the field, and confidence at the plate allows hitters to trust their mechanics and instincts. The Yankees' offense is no longer reacting. It's initiating, creating opportunities, and pressuring opposing pitchers to make mistakes. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Mookie Betts, widely regarded as one of the premier talents in Major League Baseball, has reportedly made headlines once again, this time with whispers circulating that he might be joining the New York Yankees. The rumor alone has sent shockwaves through fan communities and social media platforms, igniting heated discussions and speculative analyses from both amateur and professional sport commentators. Fans, already fervent in their support of the Bronx Bombers, are said to be envisioning a scenario where BETTS steps onto the hallowed grounds of Yankee Stadium, delivering spectacular plays and electrifying performances that could redefine the team's season. The energy surrounding this potential move is almost palpable, with imagery of sold-out stands and chants echoing through the streets becoming a part of everyday conversation among diehard supporters. Analysts are reportedly dissecting every angle of the speculation, from salary cap implications to defensive positioning, considering how BETTS' inclusion could alter not only the Yankees' lineup, but also the broader competitive landscape of the American League. Beyond the statistics and logistics, there's an undeniable cultural buzz, a kind of communal anticipation reminiscent of landmark moments in baseball history, suggesting that even the mere possibility of this acquisition is enough to keep the city and fans nationwide abuzz for days on end. Insiders are suggesting that MOOKIE BETTS' potential arrival in New York could bring a transformative energy to the Yankees organization, and speculation is rife about how this might influence both the clubhouse dynamics and the team's performance trajectory. Observers are reportedly considering the psychological boost such a high-profile acquisition might provide, noting that the presence of a player of BETTS' caliber could inspire both veteran players and rookies to elevate their game, fostering a culture of excellence and relentless ambition. Fans are allegedly envisioning BETTS not only as a powerhouse hitter, but also as a defensive wizard, whose range and instinctual fielding could turn routine plays into highlight reels and potentially redefine the expectations for outfield performance across the league. Rumors suggest that the Yankees' management has been in discreet talks, exploring every logistical detail, from travel arrangements to marketing strategies that could capitalize on the increased attention and merchandise sales associated with BETTS' arrival. In parallel, sports commentators are said to be dissecting his past statistics with meticulous detail, debating how his unique blend of speed, power, and batting discipline might translate within the Yankees' established system, sparking endless chatter across online forums and sports media outlets. The fan base, a mixture of seasoned followers and casual supporters drawn in by the excitement, appears to be collectively holding its breath, eagerly anticipating confirmation while savoring the thrill of the rumor itself, which, even without official validation, has already become a central topic of conversation in baseball circles. Whispers from multiple sources indicate that MOOKIE BETTS' prospective tenure with the Yankees could trigger a cascade of strategic recalibrations across the league, as rival teams might feel compelled to respond in kind to the enhanced threat posed by a roster now potentially strengthened by one of baseball's most dynamic stars. Analysts and bloggers are reportedly debating how opposing pitchers might adjust their approach, hypothesizing about new patterns of pitching strategy and defensive shifts designed to counteract BETTS' multifaceted offensive and defensive skills. Meanwhile, fan speculation has taken on a creative life of its own, with social media feeds flooded with mock lineups, highlight reel compilations, and fervent predictions about playoff scenarios, creating a digital tapestry of anticipation and excitement. Within the Yankees' own circles, insiders are supposedly evaluating the ways in which BETTS could mentor emerging talent, fostering a synergy between experienced veterans and rising stars that might amplify overall team cohesion and performance. Furthermore, the buzz surrounding this rumor extends beyond the immediate tactical implications, touching on broader themes of team identity, media presence, and branding potential, as the Yankees' historical stature and nationwide recognition could be further magnified by the addition of a player whose profile transcends baseball statistics. The ongoing chatter suggests a symbiotic effect, where the rumor itself enhances public engagement, while simultaneously prompting internal considerations within the team structure, illustrating the multifaceted impact that a single high-profile acquisition could generate. Speculation continues to mount regarding MOOKIE BETTS' integration into the Yankees lineup, with proponents suggesting that his arrival could catalyze a remarkable offensive renaissance, energizing a team historically associated with both tradition and championship aspirations. Observers are reportedly weighing the potential ramifications on batting order configurations, defensive alignments, and the allocation of in-game responsibilities, all while contemplating how BETTS' distinctive playing style could synergize with the existing roster. The city of New York, as well as fan communities nationwide, are said to be caught up in a wave of anticipation that blurs the lines between fact and rumor, generating a narrative that fuels both hope and debate across various media platforms. Rumors indicate that discussions surrounding sponsorship, merchandising, and fan engagement strategies are simultaneously unfolding behind the scenes, highlighting the commercial stakes intertwined with athletic performance. Analysts speculate that BETTS' reputed discipline and consistency at the plate, combined with his agility in the field, could serve as a blueprint for redefining team strategy, prompting managers and coaches to reconsider traditional approaches in favor of more dynamic, flexible tactics that leverage his skill set. Beyond tactical considerations, there is also talk of the intangible influence BETTS might wield in shaping team morale, public perception, and the psychological momentum necessary to navigate the pressures of high-stakes games, rendering the rumor more than a simple personnel story and instead a multifaceted phenomenon that captivates the imagination of fans and commentators alike. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.